Okay, in today's tutorial we're going to take a look at elevating contours and pads using Carlson Civil. This is just a basic site plan with a few pads and some contour elevations, no curb and gutter. We're not going to look at elevating line work today. As far as 3D polylines, we're just going to elevate basic contouring and pads. So we have a site plan that was provided to us as a CAD file. The CAD file is all at zero, as you can see. We're using the drawing inspector. That everything, all the line work, all the contour lines, pad lines, everything is at zero elevation currently. We want to elevate those so we can create us a surface for our machine control systems or for grade checking out on the site. So first thing we're going to do is use the 3D data tab. We're going to go to assign contour elevations multiple in series, and at the bottom of the screen you can see it's going to ask us for our first point. In this case I'm going to select just between the pad line and the first contour. The second point is going to be at the top of the slope. Our beginning elevation, again on the command line, is going to be 538, which is going to be our first contour outside of our pad, and it prompts you the increment direction. In this case we're going to go up. So now we should have some elevated contours going up the slope. Okay. And again we're going to continue around the site to quickly elevate everything. So we're going to do that again. 3D data, assign contours by surface, or in series rather. That was 50, 52 I think is where we left off, so we're going to do 554. We're going up, so now we should be okay here. We're still at zero in this slope, we're still at zero here, so we're going to do this again. 3D data, assign contour elevations multiple in series. We're going to go down our slope. We're at 536, and we're going down, so now we should be elevated down to 510. We're going to go over here and find 510. You can see 512, or I'm sorry, 508 is not elevated. Same process, multiple in series, going down. First elevation is 508, going down. We're just going to quickly work our way around the site. 508 here as well. 3D data, assign contour elevations multiple in series, going this way, so it'll be 508, going down. There we go. Now we have come to the lines that weren't elevated in series, so we're going to do those individually using set polyline to elevation. Select that. In this case I'm going to do this one first, so 520. I'm going to select it and hit OK. So now you can see it's 520. We're going to do that again, and we're going to give it a new elevation of 518, which is going to be this contour here. Now there we go. And we're going to do the same thing with our pads. You can see we're given pad lines here, and they're at zero elevation as well. So to fix those we're going to do the same thing. Set polyline to elevation, 523, enter, and then I'm going to select those two. And there we go. Same thing here. Elevation for those is 536.5, and then I'm going to select both of these, enter. There we go. So now we should be pretty well elevated all the way around the site. To make sure we are, we can go to View, 3D Viewer window, select, and you can see that we've selected everything. Here we've got color by elevation. We can turn that on or off, and we can also ignore zero elevations. You can see if we ignore the zeros, then the text and other data that we don't necessarily need to see goes away, so we don't need that. We can also exaggerate this so that we can see it clearly that it has been elevated, and you can rotate around these things and be able to see what you have there. You can obviously see all the contours and the pads and everything's been elevated. So Now we're ready to create our surface now that we have elevated line work all the way around the site. So we're going to go to Surface, Triangulating Contour. That's going to bring up our Triangulating Contour window. Primary thing to focus is make sure you do have a right triangulation file checked, and we need to tell it what file we want to use. We're going to write this file, which I've already done previously. Do we want to replace it? Yes, we do. You can create your own inclusion, exclusion areas, or you can let Carlson do that for you. The easiest way is to just let Carlson do it, and you can select whether it's low, medium, or high. Typically I run with medium. We're going to ignore zero elevations and then hit OK. OK to overwrite the existing triangulation file, of course it is. We're going to select our objects and right click, and now you can see that it wrote the triangulation file and created a 10 from the 3D line work that we have. So we can also view that as well. Go to Surface Viewer, select the surface, and now you can see we actually have a completed surface. Again, we can exaggerate that to make it a little easier to see any errors in it. You can see the slopes are nice and smooth, the pads are nice and smooth. So we've got a nice clean surface to be able to put in our data collector or in our machine control systems. In this case it's in a Carlson 10 format, but we can convert that as needed for whatever type of equipment we plan to run it on. But you can see Carlson does a great job of creating a nice smooth surface in the slopes and in the pads for us to be able to use on our machine control systems. And that's it for today.